Hola, amigos, everybody.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Take Two Radio, Soaps and Review. I'm David, filling in for Pam, who is on family emergency. And with us today, we have my gal Candice.
Hey.
My other gal, Carolyn.
Hello, hello.
And we have Will.
Hola, amigos, everybody.
Hi, Will.
And we like to...
Hey.
And we'd like to say that our friend Anthony is visiting his family in Virginia, and he is making his move back to Florida hopefully soon. But this is it's a kind of a special celebration for me to do this show today. And I think, Candice, especially you also.
Wait, is today my anniversary?
No, well.
Wait.
We can do all 4 soaps today and on original content.
Wait a minute. Also, wait a minute. I do think it's my anniversary for when I called in and won a book.
Yeah, it was November,
it was November? Oh, it feels like it was August. I don't know. Yeah. Look, time has no meaning anymore, folks, okay?
No, it
Every
doesn't,
day
does
is like rolling into one big day, okay?
It is. It really is. But how about we talk about what I just found out on the news? Well, not on the news, on the internet and news, that our soaps have hit the cover of TV Guide.
Oh. Okay.
Can you buy that, Candice? You know why.
Yes,
Tell them why, Candice.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, so you know how back in the day you would be at the supermarket and you would see the cover of TV Guide and you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I don't need to get it because, really, no offense, but we all have on demand. We're watching Amazon, Netflix. You guys need to get it now. Like, you need to get these 4 covers. Why? Because this is huge. Like, okay, let me just backtrack here. This is such a huge deal that TV Guide covered all 4 soaps. Okay, the very last time that this happened was over a decade ago. Okay, we know that 2020 hasn't been the best year because of Corona.
Oh no, it hasn't.
But as a soap fan, this is like hallelujah, hallelujah. This has been soap heaven, and the fact that these soaps are getting the attention that it truly deserves, because why we say this all the time on this show, soaps are the best type of entertainment for you. It cleanses your soul, believe it or not. I don't know if that's true, but we're just going to say it is. But daytime is the best genre out there, the soap genre. So TV Guide has put together 4 collector editions, and I will say it's collector issue editions of your favorites representing each show. So you have Maurice Bernard and Laura Wright representing General Hospital. You have Eric Braeden, Melanie Thomas Scott representing Young. You have Deidre and Drake for Days. And you have Denise Thorson and Catherine Caroline representing Bold. What's interesting is that Deidre and Drake on their social media page did say that it's been 37 years since their last appearance on TV Guide, which is, amazing. If anybody remembers back in the 80s, that Eileen Davidson, Eric Braeden, and Melanie Thomas Scott was also featured on TV Guide. So it's kind of, nice to see that TV Guide, which is a mainstream magazine, is actually focusing their cover. They're dedicating their covers, 4 of them, to the 4 soaps. And this is only the beginning, baby. Soaps are coming back. They're coming back on the rise. Get ready. Get ready for the soaps to dominate again. Amen.
They're ready. They're going to come back stronger than ever, and that's what
Well, they already have. If you've seen the ratings, the ratings have been, they've been really, good. I mean, I just believe this is the new energy in soaps, baby.
It is good. So now we can only hope that Days comes back in the same format.
Amen.
And we need that. We need that for all of us.
It's good that the soaps are back. It keeps everybody, excited for what's ahead, for our favorite characters and the storylines that we've been wanting to watch and see them unfold. It's an exciting time. I think Daytime did perfect. I think they did the right, taking their time returning, and look at now they're back and they're on fire again.
They are on fire. So how about
you can
we
tell,
go down?
You can tell they were missed. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You know what it feels like. It feels like we're in sweeps, but like early.
Yes.
It's what it is for me personally. It's like I think soaps are finally getting the recognition that it's been missing. I think because obviously soap started with the Great Depression with Erna Phillips.
Right.
I mean, we've gone through a sort of an experience, but we had each network, whether you like what they did or not, these soaps were there to kind of take us out of the world content that we was seeing every single day. And not only that, I think people, even people who tapped away for so long of watching soaps came back and was like, oh, this is why I used to watch these shows. So I feel as though, and not only that, but each network, whether you want to agree or not, again, I'm saying this, is that they really made a point to showcase their soaps, in these times. I mean, Days had, Love in the Afternoon. We'll get to that later. Young and the Restless schooled all fans of all times that they started by, going to the first 2 episodes and showcasing the families and characters. General Hospital, took it back a little bit, for current viewers, as well as, showing some fan faves. Bold did the same thing. And now Bold being the first to return, you're seeing soap fans, even who doesn't watch Bold and doesn't watch GH and Young and the Restless, and they're watching to see how they're doing things, and that's why I said the recognition, the respect that these people go ahead and do this every single day. The writers included, the production, and you're finally getting people saying it's high time we give the soap operas their credit, because they have the difficult task of taking the viewers away from the reality that we're living in right now and providing us entertainment. So I'm very proud that the ratings are going up. I hope they keep going up. I'm glad the Daytime Emmys was this year, and then there was another little new soap that came out last week too on audio podcast. So just saying, that this is a good time to be a soap fan. This is a really good time.
It is. But we had a little difficulty going in with the reruns because what seemed troubling, didn't it, to you, Candice, a couple of times? We were wondering why our favorite stories that they were repeating was doing better than Days.
Well,
I saw at least once. I saw.
Well, the thing is that, like I said, it depends on when you start watching these soaps. I know people who've been watching, Days of Our Lives since the beginning. I mean, none of us, and some who've been watching like different decades. And I think it was a point where, with Days being the only, new soap that has showed new original episodes, I think, fans enjoyed it. I think there were some fans who kind of wished that they did have the encore presentations, as I was calling it, because especially if you're a newer viewer, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, can such and such hook up with this person? And they'll be like, no, they're related. So it would have been kind of nice if they would have done, like, something to showcase, who's who that was, like, okay, Xander and Sarah technically in some weird way is connected. Besides that, we'll talk to that about that in a minute. But, like, if they're related or not, or, like, why is people making a big deal about Steve and Kayla? Like, they could have shown, like, so I feel as though if you're a fan of that and you saw other people doing certain things, then, yeah, there was a little soap jealousy. But at the end of the day, I think, I really truly believe that, showing encore presentations of the soaps made a difference for current viewers who never understood why. Go ahead.
A lot of it, too, was nostalgia. I mean, people that I speak to, they say, oh, my God, I remember blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, see there, that kind of brought them back. When you take something away, you say, oh, I really don't care about it. Then when you take it away, they say, oh, no, I want that. I want that back.
It's like appreciate it. Yeah, like for me, I'll just speak on behalf of myself. There was episodes. I mean, I love Young and the Restless, GH and stuff, and there was some episodes of Young and the Restless that I've heard about, but I've never seen the full episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
the nostalgia. Yeah.
Right. So and not even that, but to like the newer, it's always funny to hear from the new viewers of that, because there was a couple of people who are they don't like Victor because he's always mean, but now they're like, oh, you know what, we have a little better understanding of Victor Newman, but we can't stand Jack Abbott. Like it's like flipped, like, oh wow, Sharon and Nick was so young. Oh my God, it's like wait, they actually had a facelift. They had a facelift on Young and the Restless. Oh my God! Look at Drew and Neil, and the fact that that Drew and Neil was trying to get break down Olivia and Malcolm for their own. I mean Olivia and Nate for their own purpose, and with Bold, the fact of now you're understanding why Brooke is now the matriarch of Bold now, but you got to remember where she came from, and the General Hospital. I mean, there was a debate about them showing, personally, I kind of wish they did go into the, archives and show the, classic episodes. But for what it's worth, you get a better understanding of the Sonny, Carly, Jason, Sam relationship. Also, you get to, some people was like, oh my gosh, that's Emily. Because they was trying to figure out who this girl was, and they was like, oh, that's Emily. Oh, this is wow, there was a lot of Quartermains on the show. Wow, there was Castans. And it was kind of a pro and con when you was watching these old episodes, because sadly some of these characters are no longer on the show. Some of the storylines, they were great, and some weren't, and it's like, oh, okay. But at the end of the day, it was sort of a minus Days. It was sort of a history lesson for all fans, I think.
Yeah.
And plus, you got to see the fashion.
Yeah, the fashion. How
the eyeshadow,
the trends back then compared to now, and
but the eyeshadow, the styles, the music,
how changed,
the weddings, and just the evolution of characters that you. I mean, I will take again, since Young and the Russells did it, the evolution of, I mean, he's not on as much, but take a look at the evolution of Doug Davison, Paul Williams.
where he started.
Right, Melanie Thomas Scott. You saw everybody in their beginning stages, and I think the biggest compliment, Young and the Russells, somebody said it, was, oh, you mean to tell me the Newmans and Abbotts wasn't their first family of the show?
Yep, we got a look at Theo's grandpa.
Yep. Yeah. Papa.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see Michael Baldwin as a bad boy. I've been years telling people, And flip side, on Bold and Beautiful, you can see why I always say sometimes Ridge is a douchebag.
Because that's just saying.
And on General Hospital, you can see the importance of the hospital. Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
very much so.
Yeah, it like I said, it's a good time. 2020 took a lot of hits, but as a soap fan, man, we got the daytime Emmys, we getting reunions, we getting a new soap opera. What? Did I just shameless plug? No, I'm doing it later.
Yes, you did.
But I did. I can't help it. But it's a good time. Like I said, it's a good time being a soap fan, and I'm glad that the soaps, like I said, with TV Guide, giving each soap their own cover with their current cast characters. It's a good time being a soap fan. It's a good time to really invest in a soap opera, and I just pray to Soap Jesus that the higher industries are taking notice, Sony Pictures, that they're taking interest. They know this is what makes fans happy. Is this normal, this comfort, if that's the correct word. It's a comfort of seeing these characters day in and day out, in these storylines, and the fact that these shows been on for over 30-some plus years. I mean, name another industry that works 10 times hard.
And I noticed on Twitter the interaction with fans. They certainly got involved, and it was good.
So. A lot of the celebrities give the pluses and minuses of having the social media as part of the fan base, because back then when I was watching in the 80s, there was no such thing. It was all letter writing.
Yeah.
And I agree, Candice, with you too, that it is a really good time right now for soap fans, because I want to commend all of the networks that they did what they could during this COVID-19. They didn't just give up on the soap fans. They wanted us to keep going by watching these classic episodes as much as possible, keeping us entertained while they returned. And look, they returned and they brought some promos along with it. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. I still give them credit because it showed they cared. And, it's such a wonderful time that, to enjoy the soaps again. So I wanted to just give credit to all the networks. You guys did a great job coming back.
Yeah, well, with the COVID and so many more, everyone, the dynamics of their lives have changed. So they had to stay home, or they changed their what they were doing during the day, and so we've probably got a lot more new fans.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say. Well, I want to start with General Hospital for tonight, because there were a couple of things that came up in the week. Correct me if I'm wrong, Candice or Will.
Okay.
Dom's was written in before they started, according to Chris Eads from Soaps in Depth. It was about
Dante returning.
Yes, they said it was before that they said they actually started. They did it.
Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, that's a good you brought it up. They did do it like that because what happened when they had the shutdown, they thought smart as a network. They saved that episode so when they returned, they can have something to show and then go on straight into it when they returned with the new episodes that they had to film while, following procedures and safety guidelines. So yes, you're correct. That was done prior, before shutdown. You can tell the differences.
Oh, no, I'm talking about before they opened up, the 2 days before they opened up, I thought. That's what I was thinking. They did it.
You can double check for me, but I was with.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys.
Oh, as far as I was been told, I was given a heads up that it was like a teaser, that it was done beforehand. It was like before they shut down. Like it was saved in time to when they return, they have at least 1 or 2 episodes of the show, and then after that they would show the newer episodes, which would be fresher. And again, you can tell the differences the way they're filming from one angle to the other, and you can tell which the differences of the episodes. Candice, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
From what I was going to say is that from my understanding that when they were getting ready to go back into production, they reached out to Dominic to record the episodes and to spice it into the show. I do know that General Hospital did have some episodes saved right before the shutdown, same as Days, Young and Restless, and Bold. So that's why some things still look like, the social distance wasn't happening and everything. But now what General Hospital did is that they spiced, they kind of put new scenes in their episodes. So I believe Dominic was one of them.
Right. It was kind of like, you can kind of tell if you look close, it feels like it's spliced.
Yeah, well, they had a heads up that it was coming. It wasn't like one day they were there and the next day they weren't. They kind of had a little time to plan it. So, but the way
I
they
wasn't
did it,
expecting that at all.
But it was still good. I liked how they did that. That was some really good maneuvering on GH's part.
And we were all wondering what Frank's surprise was when he said, and everyone saying, don't miss the first 5 minutes.
Okay, I would like to take this opportunity.
I knew it was going to be Dante. I was so anxious to tell everybody, but I kept it secret. As soon as they talked about it, I already knew it was going to be Dante coming back. But I'm so glad that a lot of fans did, holler and cheer for Dante returning because, he's been missed really big time for a while on General Hospital. And it's just exciting to see that fans are still excited to have him come back. So that really added a smile to my face.
Well, he kind of like a couple of months prior, like around March, April, kind of gave himself up a little bit because there was an Instagram post that he did. The thing is that GH, Frank, I love you. Believe it or not, you guys, yes, I do respect him and stuff like that. But I need for GH to get a PR person because even though, like, he was teasing that hard, like, they was like, don't miss the first 5 minutes, don't miss, and a lot of people were speculating if there's a new intro, if there's going to be a new character, or if they wouldn't do a recap.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly posted and reported what the surprise was before the show even came on.
Yes,
so
I did. That's
some
the one I
people
saw.
did not know. Like, so there were some people who were surprised, but again, if you follow Entertainment Weekly, they gave it out like at 10:57 in the morning that Dominic was coming back. So it's kind of like
a
surprise.
Yeah,
but some people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but some people did notice that like Dominic was. Again, if you're really like a soap, detective.
Right.
Like I said, there was an Instagram post he posted earlier this year. Maurice Bernard was talking about it. There was a lot of Dante talk. There was a lot of, Dominic, on posting and, So it was kind of like, all right. And plus not only that, but, and I say this is that, and I think I said on the show, each soap was going to have to do something to bring viewers back in, whether it's a couple getting back together, a storyline, or a character, they're going to need to do something. So General Hospital, having Dante back is really important because, one, of the storyline that's going on with Lulu. Not only that, but he is needed on the show because, obviously, besides the Lulu thing, he is Sonny's child. He did have a storyline that started to play out, but then dropped. So now I'm wondering where they're going to go with this.
And how long is he going to be with them?
Right, and that's something that some people are speculating he's getting a contract. Some people are just saying he's just there for the story, to finish the story arc that was already opened, and for him just to close it out. So don't know just yet.
Because one thing I remember reading his interview with Michael Fairman, he said that Dom said that he reached out to Frank. He says, "I'm ready to come back."
Right.
And I'm ready for a contract, but I swear Frank told him, "We'd love to have you back, but not this year." I swear I saw those terms.
I remember what you're talking about. I remember hearing something about that as well. Like they were pushing, they wanted him back, but they were pushing back his return for just a little bit because of so many stories that were going on, and they didn't want to intermingle too many things all together. So I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Candice, can you elaborate more on that, or do you know something more?
Didn't read the interview. I do know that he did reach out to Frank. Here's the thing. If I was Frank, I mean, I would actually offer him a contract now.
I would.
I'm just saying, because I feel as though right now General Hospital is really interesting right now. To me, there is something that's different with General Hospital. It could be because not even because they went off around April and May. So
they went off
like
in May.
Really like 2.5 months,
May 21st.
3 months. So yeah, so it hasn't really been as long as we make it. I mean, obviously, but I feel as though like General Hospital, there's something different about that show as well as Bold. That is, I'm actually finding myself enjoying a little bit more, and I think the Dante aspect because of how it's going to affect Olivia, who's in an interesting storyline with Ned. Thank you.
Right now, yes.
Of course, with Sonny and what's going on with him and Mike, with Michael, if they play that into Dante, and of course Lulu and Dustin and Dante and that whole thing. So I don't know, if about the contract regarding for next year, but I do know if I was Frank and ABC and General Hospital, I would offer him a contract ASAP.
I definitely agree. I would do the same thing. Get him a contract. Yeah. I got a fun question to ask you guys since we're on General Hospital. Okay, you know how the guidelines show for all the networks, it says that, for them, if they're going to be around each other, I know they're 6 feet apart from each other, but they're supposed to be allowed, I guess if they were like couples, they can hold each other or kiss or something like that. So my question for you is for Michael's Corinthos character for Chad Duell, if he's going to be in that kind of situation, and if, let's say, example, Courtney Hope, his girlfriend, showed up as a stand-in for Willow when they're supposed to kiss or something, do you think the General Hospital should go ahead and cast Courtney Hope as a new love interest for Michael Corinthos, or should they just leave it with him as Willow and Michael? How do you feel about that?
Personally, I'm surprised she's not over there already.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? I'm surprised too. I mean, I hear rumbles that they want to bring her, but I don't know if it's confirmed or not. But I heard rumblings they would love to have her, but I don't know from you, Candice. So I was wondering, what do you think about that? Do you think that they should go ahead and bring her on as a new character, or do you think
not
they should just leave her as a stand-in for temporary?
Here's the thing: if they're going to do it, because under the CDC guidelines, they did that if you do have a spouse, outlined on Bold and Beautiful, you can have. And here's another thing too: if the spouse agrees to it, then yes, obviously Courtney would be over there with Chad. Outlined with Chad Duell being over on Bold and Beautiful, which we didn't really see. And I'm pretty sure that they would probably, but then again, they work on 2 different shows, so they have to get double testing. And so, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Now, going forward, I personally could see Courtney Hope on General Hospital, not because of Chad Duell, but I've always put her in the category of who could play Serena Baldwin. Because, I'm sorry, Serena Baldwin needs to be on General Hospital. She needs to be a part of the set with a Michael, with a Maxie, and Lulu. I don't understand why they haven't even invested in that. And I could probably see Courtney Hope playing Serena Baldwin. And I could see being a Michael,
awesome.
Serena, Willow triangle, even though originally I had it Maxie, Michael, and Serena, but we're going to let it go.
Oh, my God.
What did I know?
Could you imagine the scenes that she would have with Lynn Herring as Lucy Coe? That would be sweet.
Yeah. Well, I've always said on this show that I've always thought that Serena Baldwin needed to be back on screen. I mean, the fact that she has a brother that she barely knows on that show, that her father, you got Lucy, you got Kevin, you do have to, I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. They did rebuild the Cassadons in the sense of having Nicholas, you have Queen Ava, hallelujah, and the Quartermains. But now to me, I feel as though you need to build up the Baldwins, and they should have done that before Gene and Shelley even left, to be honest with you. So I do, maybe with this whole pandemic, you got Brooklyn, but also you can bring in Serena. And, yeah, if they do that, obviously, like I said, because of the CDC guidelines, then, yeah, you would have Serena and Michael for a little bit.
Right. I agree, yes. I think Courtney Hope would be an awesome addition as Serena Baldwin. And plus, the way she is just an actress. She's so feistiness that will, like, literally explode on the screen. We saw it on Bold and Beautiful. She would go, like, 10 to the 10th power as Serena Baldwin. That would be amazing.
Sparkle. I think she'd sparkle, yeah.
Yeah.
She would.
You know what? I'm really impressed right now with General Hospital because we are talking about it. I'm liking that you're focusing, the writers and everything. I like that they're focusing also with the mixture between the vets and what they got as a cast because I really am enjoying seeing Lucy Coe back at it again, even if she's just having to deal with fighting Valentine or anybody. It's like, yes, I love Lucy. I'm glad that she's back.
I am too. And it's good to see her. My other... I lost my train of thought, Candice.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Come and find it. Okay.
Candice, I got a challenging question for you and for the rest of the group, too. Okay, this is I'm just curious now. How are we feeling about the temporary of Sam McCall? Do you feel that...
That was my next one.
Thank you, Will. Do you think that it's going smoothly as far as, like, are they showing the edges and the charisma of her character than what they've done in the past? Or do you think it's staying, like, at level? Do you think it's still a level? How do you feel about this?
Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to say this. First and foremost, get well soon, Kelly. Lindsay, I'm glad to see you back on daytime. Here's the thing. To me, all right, because somebody did ask me this question before. I do feel as though that this has always been Sam. I just feel as though, like, when you're taking on a new job temporary being in the position from somebody else, you try to do a little bit better so you can get noticed. And that's how I'm feeling right now. And there's no shade against Lindsay and there's no shade against Kelly. I do feel as though, to me, if this was Kelly playing it, this is what we would be getting. We would be getting the same thing. So to me, to answer that, I think right now this is Sam. I'm just interested. I'm intrigued. Actually, I'm intrigued that the writers are actually finally hearing what we fans have been saying for the longest time to put into the dialogue for Sam, is that Sam is not pissed off. Like, she is pissed off, and it's like, you cannot blame a woman that has really been, quote-unquote, ride or die, and you're not even really a ride or die person because you're getting picked. Carly and Sonny will always be above you, Sam. And I love the fact that the dialogue, and it doesn't, and like I said, it doesn't matter who, Kelly or Lindsay, whoever is saying, the character of Sam is saying it. You know, why is Carly A, B, C, and D? But at the same time, like I said, it's Sam. She backpedaled when Carly has said something, and Sam is like, okay. So to me, I feel as though the only thing that has really changed is the performance level of the actor, the actress, because they're not. Keep in mind, Lindsay she's just there, versus Kelly, who's been in that role for 15 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you get excited when. Cool. Yeah, so it's pretty much, again, like I said, nothing against neither ladies. The dialogue has always been like that. It's just you're seeing a different actress saying it versus who would say it. And
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I, like you said, it's not putting shit on nobody, but I'm also enjoying it on the storyline that it's like they're putting Sam to, be that firecracker character that we know that she is, this, like, again, another feisty character that she was always been in the past. And I like that they're putting that back into the mix. It's like, this is our Sam. This is, this strong character, this, very, willed woman that she is very headstrong. And I'm glad that the writers are putting it back on the map because that's what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
We needed that Sam.
Yeah.
Not the little low-key Sam that they were writing before, but now they're giving Sam the performances that we wanted from both of the actresses because when Sam, Kelly Monaco returns, she's going to be center stage with the storyline going on. And I love that because that's what she deserves. This is what the character of Sam needed all along. We wanted her to get back on the map and not get left behind.
Mhm.
I see it that she put I can tell that she put, maybe it's just her, that she took it up maybe half a notch.
Yeah. And that's what you do when you are, when somebody calls you up from the top agency and say, hey, can you fill in for such and such, you want to do a good job so you can get noticed, so
yes.
you can show people like, hey, I still can do this. Look, Lindsay is one of those actresses that does belong on a soap opera. Let's be real for a second. So when her name was announced that she was coming to General Hospital, I mean, I think everybody had their, like, okay, let's wait and see. And she does bring a new element to the role of Sam because, again, she has not been in this role as long as Kelly. It's sort of like when, Robert Calvin Kelly came into playing Bo after Peter, or the perfect example I always give is take a look at General Hospital's Lucky's,
Oh my
Young
God.
and Restless Billy's,
yeah,
and, One Life to Live, Joey and Kevin Buchanan's. Each actor brings their own flair and their own take on the role. Even though it's the same dialogue for these characters, if it's a new actor, of course they're going to do it. They're going to up a notch and whatnot. And not only that, but can we talk on this show? Can we talk? I'm with Broad Joan Rivers here.
Yes.
Don't be surprised if you hear that Lindsay is going to join the cast full time.
I'm not.
Oh my God, I would love that.
surprised.
I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, take a look at Chloe Lanier. She was only on there for that episode, that special Luke episode, and look at her now. Go ahead now, Emmy Award and everything. So I do feel as though the positive feed that fans have been giving about Lindsay is going to turn into something. I just don't want her to be Peter Long-Lost wife.
That's so great.
I
love
don't
that.
want her to be.
And also, what I'm excited for, and again, no shades, but I got to give it up to Lindsay here on this performance that you did with for Jason Morgan, where he's talking about how like kind of his own way of why he was giving this the DOA whatever for Carly.
Right.
And I love how Sam, she shuts him up by saying, What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for me to thank you? Oh my God, Lindsay, you knocked it out of the park, girl. That was good.
It was.
And Jason just looks at her like, what the? Like, oh my God, that was great. Like, Jason just and Steve Burton did this, but I love how his expressions is Jason because, he's a little stone cold and he's a robot. But when Sam literally told him, what are you waiting for me to thank you? That expression on his face, oh my God, that was everything.
Yeah, sometimes the little things.
So, General Hospital, you guys did it. That to me was an Emmy-worthy moment right there. I love that. That was just like a ping pong at a table. Everybody boom, 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 and before you know it, he lost, and his face, like, Chandler and Monica from Friends, when Chandler makes that face when he's shocked that he lost. That's the shock that Jason Morgan gave to Sam when she said that line. To me, that's what stood out, was just that moment. Like, and then she walks out the door. He's like, "Oh, damn." So that was the moment for me. What was your moment? What did you guys take from the exciting episodes of GH? Any exciting moments hit your attention for when they return?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that there wasn't a judge that was paid off in the custody suit.
I was really thankful for that because I know nothing on soaps, but I know sometimes they kind of drag it out, and I'm glad to see the GH decided not to go that route.
You know what? It wasn't a scene. It was a particular scene, but it was more so the dialogue.
Okay.
And it came from Sonny and Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, that was a good one, too. That's another word. Emmy-worthy moment.
Yeah. I love when the show can remember parts of their own history.
Mm-hmm.
And a situation when, Elizabeth has said, I'm just a nurse, and Sonny said, no, you're one of my friends. And I was like, okay, thank you, GH, for the writers who wrote that. I was like, who wrote that? I was like, I want to credit them because I think a lot of times GH fans, again, like I said, it depends on when you start watching the show. Some of the newer fans probably don't know how much of Sonny and Elizabeth have been in each other's orbit since the 90s, like late 90s, that they've actually been friends. They've been through a lot. Lucky's death,
right.
is one.
Yeah.
Jason's involvement with her. Other things, with the baby, and
right.
I just, that dialogue right there reminded me, like, okay, GH, don't forget certain things that made these characters, because it's like, okay, because again, if you're a newer viewer, like I said, you see Elizabeth Weber, she's with Franco, she has 3 boys, she's a nurse, she's in the storyline.
She's a nurse,
yeah. But also, another backpedal is you don't know the history with Elizabeth and Mike. Because, again, Mike, played by Ron Hale, when he was playing on the show, Elizabeth worked for Kelly's.
Right.
Mike had owned Kelly. So it's sort of like a kind of a full story, especially when Sonny said he knows you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because he's just, she's a nurse, but because, again, they've been in each other's orbit. So that scene, that moment was actually my standout favorite scene.
Awesome. I like that.
So it was like, it wasn't like over the top, but it wasn't like under the top. You know what I'm saying? It was just a simple dialogue. So I appreciated that.
I like that. That's good.
Yes, it's very nice. It seems like they're trying to smooth over the rough spots a little bit as they come back.
Yeah. Mhm.
They're trying.
And I give credit. Because nothing about what happened before with GH, but you kind of know the differences now. They were kind of putting Liz like almost a little bit on back burner, kind of not purposely, I'm sure, but it just felt like that. And now with this storyline that's going on with Mike, I love that it's affected a lot of people on the show. Like you got Elizabeth, you've got Felix, you got Jason, you got Carly, and I like that it's so much centered around all of them because, like Candice said, it focuses on the past of GH, and it's good that they're reliving that throughout the new characters that are, you know, right here with us and the old. It's a mixture, and I love that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, for a while there, we almost got Felix almost felt like a forgotten character, but with this storyline, it's like he's not center stage, and he doesn't have to be, but it's good to see him in the story because he's a part of Port Charles. He's a part of this and, you know, the hospital, and in a way he's also involved in Sonny's world. So I commend the writers for this. They did a really good job involving all the characters in the story.
Yeah. So, well, let's talk about the verdict. Let's talk about the verdict that was
we'll talk
heard
about
around
the
the
verdict,
world.
and then we'll go to Days.
Okay.
So, Candice, how did you feel about that? Did you plead up, like, were you excited that Michael got the win, or did you think the Nell could have got it and made it more interesting with extra twists? What's your opinion on that?
So I have a problem with this whole thing. And even before the shutdown, I had a problem with this whole custody thing.
Yeah, I did.
Right, yeah.
I have been on record saying this, that this should not have been between Michael and Nell, that it should have been between Michael and Lucas. I'm going to put that out there again.
Yep.
Michael and who?
I feel Michael and Lucas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For the simple fact that Lucas was the adopted father and Michael was the biological father, you could have had Brad, you could have had Nell, and you could have had Willow as being like the wild cards. Okay, but since they didn't do that, my next big thing was the whole everybody got to get married. Since when? Since when? I don't understand. Like, why?
Yeah, that
why
was cheesy.
even?
I didn't like that.
And not only that, but you really kind of ruined Julian for me, so we're going to move on. Anyway, now currently with this, I do have a problem with the I mean, I'm not shocked that Michael got it, but I'm kind of offended a little bit and I know, look, this is where Candice gets on her high horse and says, like, okay, this is what really should have happened. But it should, if they're going to really go there with this custody battle. Like, to me, the custody battle could have been so much. But again, I blame a couple of things. The way that the custody was being written, and because they shut down and stuff. I do feel as though the judge and the court should have focused on the parental violence side. Because I've been saying, even if they did this with Michael and Lucas, down the line, the judge would have said, okay, Michael, your stepfather who adopted you is Sonny Corinthos. If we place a child in your care, can you automatically, assume or be positive that child would not be in any kind of harm? Because based off the records, you've been shot in the head and you was in a coma. You've been to jail. Your sister Christina was almost blown up. Your brother Morgan is dead.
Yeah.
Need we go on? Like, that's to me where I would have been at. Now, but to me, I would just, like, it would have been, okay, now you did this, but Michael, we don't know this. So, again, I wasn't surprised that Michael was got custody, but what I'm going to say is that this is, like, the best, GH just proved me wrong on this, but I have a feeling that Michael's not going to have that baby any much longer.
You know what? I agree with you there, because if it had been me, I would have mixed the extra twist in that story. I would have had it like almost like the build-up of, who's going to get the baby. But then in the last stitching hour, we find out that it was actually Chase that turns out to be the father and not Michael. Because I still feel that Chase is really the father of this baby and it's not Michael. But that's just me.
I feel as though they kind of missed that opportunity when the story first started. Now, the reason...
Yeah, with his timing.
Yeah, right. And not only that, but to me, like I said, I feel as though the fans got gypped of a real good custody hearing with Michael and Lucas. And the reason I've been saying about Lucas is that because first and foremost, where is Lucas? Like, he has not been a part of this custody, which is irking me even more. Because the reason I say this is that, okay, Michael and Lucas trickles down to Carly and Bobby, trickles down to Julian and Sonny, okay? That is the root of the whole thing, is that both Lucas and Michael's fathers have very interesting lives, okay? That could play a part, the custody thing. Willow would have been the wild card witness to it because she's seen the child with Michael and also with Brad and Lucas. If they could not decide on who, then you would have the wild. Now, this would have been the shock if Nell goes ahead and files for, she wants to have sole custody of that child. So now you have the biological mom, the adopted mother, the adopted father, and also the biological father. Who is going to get this kid? That's the meat of this, because now you have it where technically Nell is like squeaky clean compared to Michael and Julian. I mean, Michael and Lucas's family.
Okay, well, what about Willow?
And
Willow
Brad could have been the wild card in that too. Poor Brad.
Well, what about Willow? Willow's also would have to go through her faults as well. You know,
they would have brought up her being a cult.
Her connection being in a cult. That should have been, to me, that's the thing, but I felt that should have hit spotlight.
Right. And I agree with you on that. Like I said, every skeleton would come out. So now it's like, to me, if I was the writer of a soap opera, especially GH, I would have done that because now I'm going to have the audience feeling a certain type of way. It's like, Willow. Oh, shoot, that's right. She was in a cult. Dang. Like, okay, but is she a threat? Could she be a threat versus Nell? Nell really, all she did was she switched babies. But take a look at, like, Lucas. Even though Lucas has had some he's married to Brad. Brad has done some shady things too. But is it as shady as Julian? No. Is Julian is the stuff that Julian has done more of a threat to a child than Sonny? And if we're going to go there, let's take a look. Again, Michael killed his stepmother. Carly, it's Carly. Okay, now I say more, it's Carly. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
all
we know Carly.
I mean, she fired a gun in the courtroom. So it's kind of like, well, who has the best interest? And yes, we all know sometimes with custody hearings, the judge goes ahead and awards the child to the person that everybody else feels is a threat. But from a judge point of view,
what about Uncle Jason? Okay. You would have forgot Uncle Jason too. Uncle Jason.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, Jason.
No, I didn't. I didn't forget Jason. I didn't forget him because to me, he's not even a thought in this. And if he was a thought, that would be still a negative on Michael's side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has a wife that was in jail. See, so it's kind of like, who do you? And that could have been the meat. That could have been a really good storyline. But with General Hospital, now since everything is done, now you have the option here of having Michael continue being a father or go ahead and let Nell kidnap that child.
Oh,
I have a feeling that's coming.
And that would play into history. And that would play into history of General Hospital because what did Carly do with Michael?
Same thing.
When she found when AJ and them got custody, she took the child. So, like I said, I wasn't surprised, but it's going to be interesting to see what the aftermath of Michael now having sole custody of this child is going to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Plus, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I don't trust Willow, but I feel that, like you were saying before, kind of teasing, that Michael may not have that baby very long. I think that's going to happen too because something just tells me, even though Michael and Willow may have this little affair or romance or whatever you want to call it, I think something's going to happen with Willow that kind of causes more problems than they expected. I think she's still going to be too close to the situation with this baby, and even though she lost her baby, there's still a possibility that they might have her be obsessed with this baby all over again in a whole new way.
Yeah.
I mean, the writers, they have this way of of making it dramatic. So I think it could reappear again.
I just feel as though with Willow, like she's sort of she is the character to watch for in this storyline because they could take her either or. I do agree she's too close. She's doing this for the sake of the child, and she feels a little regret about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm just going to say it. GH, you should have done this months ago, but I'm kind of glad you're kind of setting it up. I do feel as though there might be a Who Killed Nell in storyline down the line, and I do feel as though Willow may be the one that does it.
Yeah.
Because of her connection to the child. I mean, right now, General Hospital, what I will say about all the soaps, including Days, because Days you're off too, is that I really hope you're piecing together your story arc puzzle. Because if not, if I could just come up with that storyline just now, like how many minutes did it take me? Like 2? Yeah. You should have had the same amount of time to plan all that out where, yes, Nell does kidnap the child. Nell is found. Somebody, some way, kills Nell. Who did it? Tune in to find out. Is it Michael?
Oh, my God, yes. Yes.
Is it Carly? Is it Willow? Is it
Brooklyn?
Is it Brooklyn? Is it baby Avery? Baby Donna? Like, because you know somehow they're going to get involved in the mob, too. Is it Avery? Is it even if you remember this line, too, it could be Julian because Ava said, why didn't you kill her already?
Yeah.
So they're obviously setting something up where Nell is going to be gone. I wish it was Peter, but we're going to let it slide, and we'll say Nell. Sorry,
I can't
Pam.
even with Peter anymore. I've
had
it with Peter, but we can't do nothing about that, apparently.
Yeah. So.
But I've got some surprises to throw up for you both, for all of you on the group. Just some future little rumblings of spoiler that I've been hearing for General Hospital. The rumor has it that there's going to be a showdown coming up with Ava and Nell, and also there's going to be a surprise twist that involves the Corinthos family in an unexpected way. So watch out for that.
That's a rumor.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a rumor. Rumor has it. That's what I've been hearing. So I feel very strongly that it could be a very strong rumor that's true, but I just throw it as a rumor so that it's out there.
Okay, thank you,
right.
Well, can we head on to Days?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, let's go. Yes, let's go to Days of Our Lives because.
Yes, Carolyn, are you still with us?
Carolyn needs to talk.
Hi, Carolyn.
Carolyn
I don't mean to ignore anybody. I want to make sure I cover everybody. All right, Days is on fire right now. It's getting good.
It must be Gabby's outfit.
It ain't Gabby's outfit that's hot on that show.
Oh my God!
No.
I'm too busy. I'm too busy drooling on Ben being. On that. Eve sure knows how to torture those guys, doesn't she?
Oh. If anyone deserves an award,
What's going on with the eye candy?
I don't know what was going on with NBC for some of this stuff to be passing by. I'm like, censor.
Oh my Lord.
NBC, was you sleeping that day? Like, what the heck is happening in our lives?
Remember, Candice, I told you? I told you guys it felt like Sweeps has come early because all these stories on all the soaps are just exciting right now. Like Days, you got Eve torturing Ben. You got, for everybody that likes Sarah and Xander, they got Steamy and Sammy's back. Yeah. I love Sammy. I'm such a big Sammy fan.
What happened
oh my
with
God,
Xander,
I love Sammy.
I don't know. I don't know what was. Like I said, I want to know who at the Census Bureau at NBC was supposed to hit censor and forgot. They must have did it on their lunch break because I was like, okay, go ahead, 50 Shades of Salem, go ahead right now with all of this yumminess of it all, and I'm like, okay. Like, did that did that happen?
I love how everybody's talking about the 50 Shades of Grey reference. That was amazing.
That's what I was just going to say. They were advertising it. Oh, wait till you see Xander and Sarah, it's going to be the 50 Shades of Grey in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ron did a great job following along with fans because he got them all excited saying, oh, you're going to want to see what's coming up with your favorite couple. And, you remember 50 Shades of Grey? Yeah, he got them riled up. He did a great job.
He's being very clever on Twitter.
Okay, I've got a fun question for y'all for days right here. What do you think about Will and Sonny? Do you think that Sonny went overboard in getting mad at Will? Or do you think that Will messed up by not standing up more and kind of like, well, Sonny, this is what really happened, and I didn't mean to give in to my mom? Do you think Will kind of was a little too passive? What's your take on Will and Sonny?
Sonny overreacted.
Oh, I totally agree. He overdid it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Will makes mistakes, but oh my God, Will, come on, get a backbone.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that, and I love Will and Sonny, don't get me wrong, but when I saw how they were interacting with each other, and Will's over there trying to plead for forgiveness, all I said to myself is, please, somebody go get Paul, bring Paul back.
Yes.
Bring Paul back.
Yes. Yeah. Because he was doing it all for Sonny, but Sonny doesn't seem to understand that.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the.
Wasn't called for.
Worst thing in the world.
Right.
And I really got mad at Sonny, how he literally had the nerve to tell Will that, their daughter is upset because she's not going to get a baby. But yet
she didn't want one.
He pacifies it, changing it to it. Oh, but it's okay now because we agree we're going to get a dog. Well, then, Sonny, why are you throwing a fit? If anybody's upset, I don't think it's the daughter. I think it's you.
Yeah. She wanted a puppy.
Yeah.
No, they did.
But I felt so bad for Will. I literally oh my God, those cute little puppy dog eye he shows. But still, I mean, I wanted Will to just get a little stronger because I know he loves Sonny. But I would really like him to be a strong character like he was with Paul, to be, upfront, straightforward, no games, no playing around. I mean, I know we're trying not to make him exactly like Sammy because it's Will, but I like that the mixture that he's between a mixture of Sammy and Lucas as, being Will, because he's just an amazing character. So, Candice, what did you feel about this? Do you also think that Sonny overdid it in the dramatic department?
Okay, first and foremost, I like to go back to a comment that you just said about Will, if I may. To me, Will is straight up Lucas's child. There's no Sammy in him at all, unless you count when he was brainwashed and he thought he was EJ. That was the only Samminess I got from him, but straight up he is Lucas's child. Okay, with that being said, I got to move forward. Here's the thing about this whole Will Sonny thing. I'm really trying to get invested in this storyline. I really wish I did not know that they were leaving earlier this year, because this is playing so hard on my emotions about this storyline, considering that I think at the end of this month, since everything got bumped up, I think at the end of this month, early next month, I think it's coming up soon, their final, this is it. This is their
September 1st.
Road to the
I didn't want them to leave on a low note. I wanted them to leave. I mean, I didn't want them to leave. But
I feel as though, maybe because, and first of all, shout out to all the Wilson fans, because I feel you guys. I do feel as though this storyline of them getting a baby, I think some people are misinterpreting the situation, and so I'm going to kind of help you guys out a little bit. It's not that it's pretty much Sonny doesn't have a child.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And he wants his own legacy to continue. Will has a child, that Sonny co-raised,
right,
like that.
Of course. Of course, yes.
But he wants a child with Will. They've been through so much that the child is, because you know what they say about a child. A child brings you new hope, a new promise. So that's what that. With Sonny, I don't think it's Sonny. Sonny is this is gonna be funny. He is getting some of his victorisms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like he's been around Victor too long.
Yeah.
He's been around Victor too long.
Right. Like it's like you kind of was waiting for Sonny because Sonny is sort of like a modern Victor, and I know people will be like, no, he isn't. But there are certain similarities of Victor. Like Victor will do things to make sure that his family's intact and that nobody messes with his family or tries to be a threat. So, like, Sonny going to saying the stuff to Sammy, I was like, even though you're going to lose this battle, Sonny, but I applaud you. Like, go ahead. Okay, yeah. Him talking
very
to
manipulative.
Will, I mean,
yeah. He's
right.
manipulative.
Yes, he's a middle of the situation. And the thing is that's a Victor. Victor does
that's right.
that. I mean, so, I just wish we would see more.
I gotta give it up to Freddie Smith and also Allison Sweeney for that showdown that we've been waiting for.
Oh,
I love that when he finally took control as Sonny and told Sammy in her place and says, "I'm a Kyriakis."
Yeah.
Don't
forget it.
Sammy's like, she couldn't say nothing. She's like, I know you're a Kyriakis.
She's like, but I just want to make sure you know. Like, that's like, because you do. Because again, with Sonny, it's like, okay, Will and him has gone through a lot, where Will hasn't been the strongest one, and Sonny sometimes is, he does things to protect and go along with it, a la with Leo, and some other things. And
so
now
it's
Victor. Like to a point. Say it again.
I think you'll laugh, Candice, but I think it's funny you think about it. Maybe just Sonny might be a little too uptight because they always have him wearing just suit and ties all the time.
Can I just say something? But you know what? I kind of like that because, again, that's something Victor does.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. That's true.
That's
but
something
it broke
his
my
father
heart
does.
when Will was asking for forgiveness. I literally was just like so feeling for him because when he broke down and told Sonny, "Well, Sonny, there's always surrogacy." Like he was trying everything in the book to kind of
pulling out all the stops. Yeah.
There's a search. And see, that's what I said, Candice. That kind of reminds me of a mixture between Lucas and Sammy because that's kind of like what a Sammy personality in Will's way. That's kind of like him doing a Sammy and saying, "I know I messed up, but let me do this. Let me make this up to you." That's kind of like what Sammy would do.
Yeah. Does everybody like the new Claire? Does everybody like the new Claire?
I love Olivia as Claire, and I wish her all the best because she's on High School Musical 2, the new season coming up on Disney Plus. So yes, Olivia, you did great. But I've got to say, this new actress has played Claire. I am loving her. I'm loving her spunkiness, and I love that she's so straightforward. And it's amazing that she's just like she makes it pop, and she's done a great job. I'm commending her.
Well, it's hard to transition. Yeah, very hard to transition, especially.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
okay,
go ahead.
Well, I have to commend Ron on social media for.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was good.
For giving Olivia kudos on her last day and.
Yes.
Yes, I saw that.
On Isabel's first day.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really class.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little tidbit, so all of you can kind of check her out. Check out the actress that is playing Claire now. She was on the previous season just ended of This Is Us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw
on
that.
NBC. She's amazing. You really have to see her as an actress, just the range that she has as an actress. She did a really good job on This Is Us, so I give her credit for that too.
Well, I'm liking Ron on Twitter. He was getting way too political there for a while, and I kept saying, "Come back to the soaps. You're ranting too much." So his input lately has been better.
I've got a juicy another teaser because I got one for each of your little favorite shows for tonight. But you're gonna love this, Candice, and the rest of the group. The rumor is that we all know that Tripp's returning, of course. But the rumor is that when Tripp returns, he's gonna drop a bombshell, and the bombshell is rumored to be that he's gonna be Allie's baby daddy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, kind of figured that out.
Yeah.
So I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited because, and you can hate me, but that's okay. I am tired of this thing with Allie where she's being a brat because, yes, I get that she wants to find a baby, to have someone to raise the baby. I get that. But she's so undecisive of what she wants to do, and then she tries to hide things, and it makes me wonder, yes, she got pregnant with this guy, but what is the deal? Did she party? Did she not want? Yeah. She wanted it was an unexpected pregnancy. That's why I'm excited for Tripp to return because he's going to shake things up.
Yeah, and she got everybody involved. I mean, how do you choose? Yeah. Like there were about 8 people that she was maybe going to give the baby to.
Well, are we absolutely sure? We're not absolutely sure that Lucas is returning, are we?
So basically, so the rumor out there is that obviously everything is kind of pointing to, at first, that, they were going to bring back Theo, Tripp. It is somebody that's connected to the canvas. That could be the baby daddy, okay? The odds favorite is Tripp, which will be a real Tripp if they actually bring him back. But they haven't said anything about Lucas coming back. Now, as far as this whole Allie thing is, here's the deal, folks. She's acting like her mother.
Oh,
well, here's the thing. She's not all the way acting like Sammy. She's not all the way, but there's some Sammy traits in her.
Of course.
The problem that I'm having with this story is the fact that, first and foremost, you quote-unquote said Allie is 23 years old and she graduated from college. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this girl is right. I'm seeing this girl as a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old girl.
I don't see her coming across as a college student. It doesn't. Right. I don't feel that vibe.
And I think that's what the fans are all agreeing on, is that you still could have done this storyline, but be a team. If you're going to honor the history here, instead of having her being a woman, who can make decisions, have her be a young teen a la Sammy when she was pregnant. And you can say that she was partying with an older guy or whatnot, and that she's been sneaking around and whatnot. She got cut off financially. She went to grandma, grandma, please send me some money. You could have still done that storyline, just revert her age backwards. Now, with that being said,
how old do we see have her playing?
In her 20s.
Well,
college.
Yeah, she's 23. Yeah, she's 23. She just graduated from college.
Yeah.
Oh, she graduated. I thought she was.
Oh, she graduated from college. Oh no, she graduated. Homegirl. Yeah.
You caught it when you just said right there. The thing is that the age of the story doesn't match, seems, with the storyline, which is kind of making sense to the way you're saying it. Because like when Allie was talking to a shirtless Xander, people were like, why would Allie do that if she's supposed to be this, like you said, she's a college student. But we're seeing her as this younger character. So it kind of confuses the audience.
It's not the way. Let me address this. Let me just say this. Okay, first and foremost, you can still tell the story. Like, my problem with the story is that, to me, it would have been more of an impact if she was a teenager and not a 23-year-old woman. Because in this situation, everybody is treating her, and not only that, but everybody is treating her like a 16-year-old versus a 23-year-old. Because a 23-year-old would not be.
I thought she was, by the way they were treating her.
No,
right, and not only that, but there's dialogue. Like, no offense, let's be real. Sammy tries to control the whole situation. This is why the story is the way it is. This isn't about really I mean, yeah, they threw in the Sammy versus Nicole, but this is about Sammy controlling the situation because she feels as though she has the right to control the situation. With Allie, like I said, you could have done, okay, Ron, this is where I'm going to get you, because you could have still did a storyline without a pregnancy.
I agree with you. It could have felt... It could have been more structured.
To me, why are you hiding? Like, if you're a 23-year-old, let's be real for a second. As a 23-year-old, you're allowed to drink, right? You're allowed to drink when you're 23.
Yep.
You're allowed to party, right?
Yep, you are.
At age 23, okay? You're basically an adult when you're 23, right?
Right.
So and then there's some adults that, now here's the thing. I will go ahead and I will play the devil's card here. There is some 23-year-olds who do act like 16-year-olds. Okay, I can play that. But to me,
but here's another thing that threw me off with this story, and it's maybe you guys can pick up on this. The way she's acting, yes, she's coming off as like a 13, 14, or whatever child, little brat. But then you got Sammy and Lucas that are ready to just take her back home like she's a little kid, saying, okay, you're going to go back with us here. So it's like whatever happened to her being a college student, that's what I'm saying. It just didn't seem sensible to me that,
I know.
okay, if she's a college student, why is she acting like...
Well, that's why I think that's where this is where Dave needs to really kind of play it up a little bit, and I don't know if they're waiting for, if they're bringing Tripp back to, like, kind of flush it out. But they do need to establish what type of adult, what type of a person Allie is as far as decision making, because we all know what her financial situation. Okay, she got cut off. Okay, but why did she get? Is it because she was spending it on parties? Was she going to Milan? Was she going here and there, or was she being punished because she wanted to get out of Sammy's orbit? And she felt as though, like, okay, I don't have no money, so why didn't you get a job? I don't understand. But
it's a lot of unanswered questions.
Right, and the thing is, oh, go ahead.
Is she coming back? I mean, she's gone. Nobody knows where she's gone.
They said Allie is coming back.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Yeah, to flush
she
out.
Just ran away. She's hiding.
Okay, and you talk about they could have done the storyline without her having a baby. Have you noticed, like in the last year, it's all babies and being kidnapped?
Babies.
Yeah, it's all.
And
they
now,
got a baby
Lenny and Eli, they're having twins, and it just seems this year is babies hit.
In marriage.
So my question for y'all is, and this will go back on the Claire situation and also with Allie here, but do you think that the way they did the casting for the new Claire, and I'm sharing this for other fans' views here, but a lot of fans are saying that they felt that the character that's now been cast for Claire, they feel she's a little too much older than what the original Claire was. Do you feel they did okay, or should you?
Yeah, she seems more mature
did they go too far?
and older.
She does seem a little mature, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's like 11 years younger than Brandon. Maybe a little bit more.
I mean, nothing wrong for me. I'm cool with her. But I was just wondering what your views with that. And then the other part was that if you notice between the scenes between now her and Claire, of Allie and Claire, I'm picking up that Claire seems to be the more sensible one over Allie. Because like you said, Allie's just acting like a little 13, 14-year-old brat. I still don't feel that sense that she's a college student. To me, it feels like maybe Claire's a college student instead of Allie, because it just seems so
I said they need to
switched.
establish Allie's personality a little bit. Like, what is she? Is she an irresponsible young adult that does need mommy and daddy, guidance, or is she an adult that's trying to break away from Sammy?
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of get in the dialogue that Sammy, obviously, because I had some questions too, Sammy, about you being a mother. And the thing is that, okay, Allie is a spitfire. This is why I said, like, you mentioned about Will. Will is Lucas all day, every day, like, except for when he's brainwashed. Yeah. But Allie is 25% of Sammy, 25% of Lucas. I'm already picking up on 25% of Kate and 25% of Marlena. Yeah. So homegirls got some issues. That's why I said they need to, and I did say this, once the baby was born, I need for them to pick up her story. Because she's already, like I said, she already did the one thing that I kind of, especially if you've been a Days of Our Lives fan for years, and Carolyn, you can jump in on this too, is that when Nicole and Sammy would go at it with each other, round, half of you always thought if one of them had a kid, wouldn't it be funny if, in either or the situation happened, if Sammy had a son and Nicole had a daughter, that they would get married, making Sammy and Nicole in-laws. One scenario, right? Or that, something would happen where Sammy would carry Nicole's child, or Nicole, or vice versa. That like Nicole would carry Sammy's, or Sammy would carry Nicole's child because of something that happened, and and they're bonding off of that. We've seen stuff like that. Or if one day Nicole's daughter befriends Sammy, or Sammy's daughter befriends Nicole. Well, guess what, folks? Guess what just happened? Because Allie loves Aunt Nicole.
Yes.
And wants her that is the ultimate. It's like you cannot control what your daughter wants to be friends with. And not only that, but that's not just a friend. That's her aunt.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've got a last question. I've got a last question to ask you on the dates department. Okay, it's a two-parter. First of all, who do you think should raise the baby of Allie's? And then the second part is, do you think that Sammy was right in going ahead and giving out, getting Bill involved to stop Nicole from adopting Allie's baby? What do y'all think about that?
Well, let's go to our Days Queen.
Yeah, let's go to her.
I don't think anyone should be given the baby. I think Allie should step up to the plate, grow up, and raise the baby. That's my feeling, and I'm hoping when Tripp comes on board, maybe it'll all sort itself out, because Nicole's a good mother. I'm not saying, but well, and they want the drama. They want the drama between Sammy and Nicole, and I understand that. Yeah.
And do you think Sammy was right in getting Bill involved to stop Nicole from adopting the baby?
I think Sammy should mind her own business right now.
Yeah.
It was Sammy's business to do that?
I get it. I mean, I get it because she's looking out for her daughter, but at the same time, your daughter is a grown-up, honey.
It's her grandson. It's her grandson.
Right.
She's going to fight tooth and nail. She would like to get the baby.
Yeah.
Sammy would she would like to get a hold of the baby and make a mess of it too.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? For me, if it was a case of actually having someone choose to raise the baby, if Allie really doesn't want to raise her baby, and if the baby daddy sees that he doesn't want to raise the baby, I could actually see Nicole and Eric being great parents raising that baby.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I still say I would prefer a storyline that Allie comes to her senses, and I thought the other day when she was holding the baby, the scenes were really good. I thought, maybe now that he's got little hands, and look at this, and I thought, maybe she's going to change her mind and come to her senses.
Yeah. But I like that. I could definitely see Nicole and Eric being such a beautiful little family. I like when Nicole told Eric, remember it was just recent, she kind of teased him. She said that she wanted to I think she had a dream or something about raising or having another baby, and she said this is a sign that maybe they're meant to be in raising Allie's baby, and Eric just gave her this cute, adorable look on his face. It made me melt.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe too. They were going to have Xander and Sarah. In fact, didn't Xander say last week maybe when he found out that there were twins maybe one of them would. Maybe they would give one of the twins up. Did anyone see that last week?
Yes.
Xander and
it's...
Sarah. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I said that." She says, "What are you talking about?" Because she told Xander that Lanny and was having twins.
Oh.
Xander said, "Oh yeah," because he feels so bad for Sarah. And I'm thinking, oh, the storyline is really twisting and turning. And what are they doing with these babies? And
poor Xander, he really wants to be this husband to be for Sarah. But you also can see his parental coming out. Like, he literally wants to be a dad. I mean, you could just see it.
Well, he's going to be, because I've heard the rumor that Sarah's baby, wasn't there a third baby born in the hospital, and her baby's going to end up being alive. That's down the road.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, with what's his name? The villain. What's that villain that caused trouble? That he kidnapped the baby?
Yeah, I think that was always the theory, because everybody remembers them saying that there was 3 babies.
Yeah, born that night. Yeah.
Are they going to bring that back, Candice, or are they going to move on from that?
Say it again.
Are they going to bring that situation up with their baby up again, or are they moving on from that? Are they still doing the 3 baby angle, or are they getting away from that?
I think they want you to think that they forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I think down the line, especially
Xander and
I can see it like if they bring a baby into the mix. Maybe the baby gets older and remembers that he was born in Salem, but he was kidnapped as a child. Kind of like what happened with Jake.
I think Sarah's going to end up with 2. She's going to end up with the other baby, and then she's going to get pregnant with Xander pretty soon.
Oh God.
Yeah, I see that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, at least we were all there when they made the baby last Friday.
Yep.
You watched it. Everybody watched it.
Yep. Everyone watched that. COVID season.
This week, 50 Shades of Grey.
I mean, we saw side boob. We saw a knee. We saw a foot. We saw pants being undone. We saw tongue. I was seriously look, okay, here's the thing. I know that the promo, first and foremost, I said it. I said, whose dream is this? And then when I saw Friday's episode, I said, okay, between the dialogue of Gabby and Jake and with Sarah and Xander, I'm like, and then you have Ben, I'm like, what show am I watching? Because this is not Days of Our Lives. I feel as though this is like I'm not supposed to be watching this. Like, this is illegal. I should be wait until later on in the night to be watching this. I now understand that mother who tweeted at Ron and Days of Our Lives, who said, and I quote, "What kind of filth is on at 1 p.m. because my 4-year-old child is trying to watch TV with me? How do I explain it to them of what's going on Days of Our Lives?"
Well, she's a millennial, because all that stuff used to go on years ago.
No, first and foremost, other than my parents, my family, who let the 4-year-old watch Days of Our Lives? I mean, shout out to all the parents and everybody who has done that, because Lord knows if you didn't, especially to my family who's listening, if it wasn't for you guys putting me in front of the TV, I would not be this person today. I don't know if you want to take that as a good or a bad thing, but we'll take it any way we can. But you do not tweet at the writer for that. Second of all,
no.
To me, this thing is, look, let's be real, okay? It's summertime. It's summer. Summer on soap means sweaty bodies. Yeah. It means good-looking bodies, to the point where you're eating at home and you're looking at these people's bodies and you're thinking to yourself, "Dang, I should have went to the gym. Oh, well, let me get another scoop of ice cream." I'm just saying. Right.
And ice cream sales have gone up, with the
right, and ice cream sales have gone up, too. But the thing is that, like, I'm watching, like, Sarah and Xander, and I'm going to put it, because I know that, with the vendor stuff, but Sarah and Xander, let me just say this, Lindsay and Paul, you did a really good job at that scene, because I know all eyes was on that scene. People were, like, on social media, was like, I've never really seen this before. Like, I probably have, but I really, like, paid it. but everybody was like the emojis. The emojis were shocked.
Their jaw
dropped. Like everything. And I think because it was like, wait, is she, because we obviously know she wasn't completely naked. I mean, she probably had the pasties on her boobs. But you saw side boob. I was like, wait a minute. That is side boob. I seen under armpit and side boob. And I'm like, when Paul, was there, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is what a soap opera is. It's supposed to have those raunchy love scenes, not those sweet cheeks. Oh, so lovely. Y'all know the montage I'm going with the flowers on the bed and they slow-mo, you're giving us a real, sexy. So that's why I said, and they were reconnecting. They're in love. They're like, let me be with you. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, baby, you made a baby.
Yeah. You know that the emoji where the head's blowing off?
Oh my God. I probably
there were a lot of those.
I was like 50 Shades of Salem, and Ron Carvalho lighted that one, and then he used it, because I was like, what is happening on days of Friday? And it was Freaky Friday. I was like, you have Sarah and Sander, then you have Jake, Gabby. Okay, Gabby's on the phone talking. Jake decides to to see where Gabby stands at. So he tells Gwen to hide into the closet and stuff like that. And here comes Jake naked. Well, he wasn't naked, but he had a towel. And then Gabby's going to say, I got to go. Something came up. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so who wrote this dialogue? Because then you have, I don't know if this was in the script or not, but you had Jake look down. And I'm like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm like, what the heck? And then, of course, we have the baby announcement. It's like, early. And I'm like, oh. And then you have.
Cute. That was cute with Jake. I like what Jake does after holding the towel.
I'm like, okay, I need to know if that was actually in the script or not. Because if it was not, Brandon, you get the award for ad-libitation of the week for that, because I was like, okay, that was on point. But then you had,
Candice, did you see what Jake post? Brandon, did you see what Brandon posted on his Twitter? He was teasing a little clip from Gilmore Girls when he was younger.
Oh my God, I remember that episode
teasing about that
yesterday. I remember
that was a classic
episode
moment. I love that.
Like yesterday, looking like a young Maurice Bernard. Go ahead, Brandon. Anyway, but then you have Ben.
And I love that on days. I love that Chad and Abby. I love their little banter, because it always feels like they're like a couple always fighting.
Yeah. But let me ask this question, because, Ben has been brainwashed. Okay, this is where Take Two Radio gets serious. We're going to try. So Ben is, he's being held, he's being tortured in the same form as Bo, Brady, Chad, Demir, being brainwashed, being tortured, and everything like that. Eve, who has every reason, and I'm sorry, fans who don't want to hear this, but she has every reason to be doing this, because at the end of the day, Ben killed her daughter. Right. The thing is, Eve is playing Paige's music, showing pictures of Sierra in the nicely wedding dress, and telling Ben, you're going to kill her. Yeah. You're going to take away and destroy your own happiness. And she's not got one thing to do with it. How do you guys feel on a scale of 1 to 10? I'll start with our Days of Our Lives queen first. How do you feel about the scenes of Ben being tortured, in the sense of, do you think it's too much, or do you think it's too little?
Do you want me to say too little?
I had a joke with that, but I'm not going to say it on air.
a lot of people on my Facebook feed and different ones that I go into, they said, "Oh, I can't watch it. I just can't watch all that torture." And I said, "Okay, I guess you didn't read 50 Shades of Grey."
But at the same time, I think it's just about right level, because you think about it, it's like daytime is matching primetime, because I've seen some primetime shows, they get a little hot and spicy too on certain aspects.
Yeah.
So if daytime can pick up the level and raise it up a little, so be it. I commend Ron. He did good on that. Mm-hmm.
I thought her superimposing her face on the wedding dress. I mean, there were some things there, and I love Cassie. I mean, I think she's fantastic. They're really tough on her on social media, and I said she is.
Yeah, they are.
I
find it amusing.
Show, right, David? Yeah, we had her on the show. I mean, she is a sweetheart. She's a Midwestern girl. She's really good to her parents. She's a cancer survivor. And I go in and I tell them, I say, she's playing a part. She's playing a part. Give it a. I think she's doing a good job. Yeah.
And I love the fact that you got Eve that is torturing Ben, but you got to give it up to Eve. She knows how to torture Ben by making him shirtless. That's just Eve being Eve.
And David, I definitely want
She's got to get her revenge. I mean, you know how the way she always teased Jennifer about all the men that she's dated and took away from Jennifer. That's Eve being Eve. She's torturing Ben, and she's getting her kicks by getting him shirtless.
Yes.
David, what do you think?
I don't think this would have been any different if it hadn't been Eve.
I think Eve is sad, and she's letting her grief get the best of her, and I don't think it should be up to her what Ben gets.
Well, I agree, but she's getting her spoke in there, so to speak, so it should make her feel better. Did you see she's back today? That she came back to Salem and she's got a black wig on. Did anyone see it today?
Yeah.
Actually, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty real. I mean, I thought.
And you know what? I've got to give it up to Ron and the actor that's playing Vincent. Oh my God, he's amazing.
Oh yeah, he's.
I love how he's getting so frustrated with every call that Eve makes, and he tries to calm her down. He goes, "Okay," he says, "Calm down a bit." Like he's trying to like if she was there, but remember she was on the phone, so he's kind of like telling her to quit it.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. That was so.
They
think
so
realistic.
They think he could be Xander's brother.
Oh,
some of the fans that I've seen,
The rumor I heard is that he's supposed to be Gwen's. Did you say Gwen's brother? Yeah, Gwen. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Xander,
that's Gwen.
Xander, she said. Xander.
Yeah, Xander.
Oh, Xander. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because I was told it was Gwen, but either way, that's so cool.
No, people say, that he reminds me of Xander. He could be Xander's brother, which I thought about. I said, yeah, they're right.
Carolyn and everybody else, are you all enjoying the character of Gwen, or do you think she's a little too much?
She needs a little work.
Yeah, there isn't anything about
I like Gwen. She's kind of like the new Gabby. She's mixing it up and shaking things up in Salem the only way she can, because she's only around like 3-4 people in a day. But I think if she was out more in Salem, I think she'd be like the next Eve. I think she would cause a lot more trouble.
Well, did you see it today? Poor Jake. He's not feeling it. She's not. She wasn't happy today.
And he said he told him,
I can't wait for
Jake
mood. And Gabby to get together.
Mm-hmm. He said he's not in the mood.
Yeah. I need for Ron to remember what her character description was. Yeah. And I need to get back to that, because from my understanding, she was supposed to be connected to 7 characters. Okay, she had scenes with Claire. Okay, she was connected. If you're going to say she has a deep-rooted connection with people in Salem, I need to see it. I mean, obviously Claire and Jake, but I need to see more evolution. Yeah, her being in the orbit of Chad and Jake and Gabby, that's fine until Abby comes back next week.
Yeah.
But other than that, what can you do with Gwen? I need for her to
I see some potential. I see potential, yeah.
I see potential if they go the direction that I'm thinking that Ron is going to, because here's the thing, Ron, I love you, you know that too, but I'm already seeing a similarity to another show he did with Gwen. And I'm kind of wondering if he's going to go that route, and if he does, this will play into the whole Abby storyline that I'm thinking is going to happen, which
do you think
might be a setup for Gabby to leave the show.
Yeah,
Candice, you still got to remember. Yeah. You got to remember two important things though with Gwen's character. One, we don't know her full identity yet because it's still a mystery. And two, don't forget Philip is returning, and with Philip, he could probably use her as a puppet.
Well, here's the thing. With Philip, which is in now 7 days, not that anybody's counting. The thing is that to me, I really think Philip is going to be more so in the Xander story arc.
Okay.
With Gwen, I do feel as though, because there was a huge context clue dropped earlier this year when Jake found out what Stefan did to Abby.
Right.
And as a fan, I've been a little bit upset that they had the opportunity when Marcy was there the first time, first go around, when Brandon was playing Stefan. Well, even with Tyler playing Stefan, because I even said it on the show. If I was the writer of Days, I would have had Abby torn between two brothers.
Yes.
It would have been Chad, but then they did the DID rape situation, which kind of made me like, are you serious? Fast forward, you break Brandon back. Marcy's returning. You have this setup where Jake made a comment saying to Gwen, I can't believe what my brother did to this woman. Half of me is suspecting that they're going to do a Jake and Abby. I'm sorry, Gabby and Jake fans, I know. But I feel as though that they're going to go with Abby and Jake and Gwen and Chad, or something's going to happen between Chad and Gwen to set up Abby and Jake and Gabby.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I feel as though they're going to do that.
I agree.
And it makes sense because remember, Gabby's supposed to be leaving, so it kind of makes sense that it's kind of like a checkerboard. They're taking one character out, so the other three have to keep going. And you got Chad, Abby, and Jake, and I guess Gwen or something like that. Just the triangle continues. But it kind of makes sense like what you're saying, Candice, because if Gabby's going to really leave, then they really have no choice. They got to move on with the show. So now the checkerboard continues.
Mm-hmm. Well, David, we've only got 15
I know.
minutes,
We got to go to B&B.
Young and Restless and Bold and Beautiful. What is there to talk about? Let's go.
Yeah. So so Bold and Beautiful. Steffi is in pain. She is desperately in pain. She, with the pain medicine, it's like she's getting sick and tired. So I think they're setting up where she's going to have an addiction. But who do you think is going to help her with her addiction? Is it behind door number one, her brother Thomas? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Door number two, Vinny. Dun, 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 dun. Or number three,
I already know.
Do you think Doctor?
It's going to be good. I don't know.
I think we all know, but I'm just doing the game show format because I just really want to do. I just wanted to say dun 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 dun. Or do we think it's going to be Dr.
And you don't have to reveal it. I get you. It's going to be good.
But what I'm saying is, I think everybody put two and two together because there was again context clues. You have Thomas, and keep in mind, so Thomas came back because he was like, "You're my sister," and I'm going to be like Anthony, "You're my sister," and I had to hurry back and see how you were feeling. So he feels as though like. Because keep in mind, too, oh, my God, please, Bold, because we said this on the show. Bold, if you do this, I still get credit for coming up with this story arc, too. Dang! The fact is that Thomas ain't forget about certain things. And it was revealed what we thought he was going to say. He's been working on himself to get better. And he's been talking to his mother, which is a no-no because Taylor ain't going to be a psychiatrist to her own son. No.
No, she can't do that.
So Thomas says that he really he wishes, Stephanie to be, well and stuff like that. He also notices that she is putting on a brave front. In other words, when she's trying to, and we have all done this, when we're in pain, we don't want everybody to see how much pain we're in, especially if we have to take medication. Because sometimes we don't want to take medication because we want to try to prove a point of, hey, guess what? I don't need it. But Thomas picked up on it. We also learned that Vinny, who has a crush on Stephanie, Vinny loves her. So those were the two clues. So,
and I love how they done this storyline. It's really good. You got to give it up to the writer or writers on this, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like this or this on Bold, but on this one I'm going to give them credit because the storyline is just so intricate, woven. It's amazing.
Bold and Beautiful feels very prime time-ish right now because not only do you have that storyline going on with Stephanie and her quote-unquote addiction, question, new romance with Dr. Finn, who, by the way, Dr. Finn, he talked about the one thing that we all can agree on Bold and Beautiful, that freaking photo, that picture that's still hanging up in Stephanie's place of her and Liam. Because he said, well, what is this? And Stephanie was like, oh, that's me and Liam. He was like, oh, but you guys haven't been together. And then she was like, yeah. I'm like, so take it down, Stephanie. Make it a 5x7 and give it to baby Kelly. That's all you got to do. Anyway,
I love
you got that going on.
I love that because Finn's kind of like checking her out in his own way and hinting to her like, it's time to move on, Steffi. Like, in his own way, he's just like, get rid of the picture, and this is the problem here. You need to focus on you and not so much on the past.
Right, and Liam is pretty much also telling her to focus on getting better for their daughter. So it's not like a romantic situation. And that's another thing, too, is that the dynamic has shifted a little bit because, Liam and Hope are, doing the parenting thing and they're trying to help Steffi. Right now, the basis of the story is about Steffi on Bold and Beautiful, which leads to Steffi got a new stepmama. Steffi got a new stepmama, y'all. And I think we all predicted this, too. So Shauna is the new Mrs. Ridge Forrester.
Oh,
how do you all feel about that? Are you happy that Ridge is married to Shauna, or do you prefer him with Brooke?
I think these two should give it a try for a minute and then see what happens.
This is so 101 because again, when they went to Vegas, and I think we all said it. I think Anthony, we both said it, that they're going to be married because it to me, I feel as though first and foremost, Shauna is an opportunist, a la her daughter. I feel as though Ridge, douchebag that he is completely, he's not all the way innocent. Because this what irked me about that conversation when he was talking and saying to Brooke, like going back saying, you always go to Bill, you hurt me, so I needed to go with Shauna. Yeah. My thing is that how does that make that better? You went with somebody to a place and you cannot handle your alcohol, Ridge, and you got drunk and you had blackout moments. To me, right. there, I didn't like that, and I feel as though, okay, so pretty much, Shauna, you took advantage of Ridge. So I don't know, that's how I came across it, but at the same time, like I said, Ridge, you did wrong by going to Vegas with Shauna after, basically you did the same thing that Brooke did in a sense, but not all the way.
Only more worse.
And y'all did kiss. But it's much worse, especially if you consummated the marriage. That's way worse. But to me, I do think, let's go and see what happens with Shauna and Ridge. By the way, called it about Quinn being,
Yeah.
And I've got again this tweet, the teaser spoiler for this one. The rumor again is that Shauna and Ridge's marriage will be short-lived, but hold on tight because a shocking revelation will be made, and it affects a lot of people in Los Angeles.
Probably she's pregnant. Might as well just go there. Just pull off the Band-Aid and just say Sean is pregnant. And just call it a day.
Yeah. You'll see. It's
Let's
really
go
good.
To Y&R.
When I heard it, when I heard the rumor and what it's going to be about, I seriously think this is a true rumor. I, as a Bold fan, am excited about what's going to happen with this triangle.
But I also think that Tom is involved in that too. So, on Young and the Restless. So, Young and the Restless came back this week. And I like what they did.
And I want to say how nice it is to see Greg and Jordy back in the first week.
Yeah!
Yes. And I got to give it up to you, Young and the Restless. Thank you so much for doing an awesome job on doing the filming of the safety guidelines and the self-distance. You really can't see too much of that, and where you don't have to look. I like that they did a great editing and angles. It's amazing how they're doing it, and I love how everybody's outside and it's so visual. It's amazing.
I just love the fact that they're still talking about I like how the first episode was centered around Catherine, because I love the fact that Lily and Billy, that they're they were talking about their business, and I love the fact of they were like, well, what if Catherine, since we're here in Chancellor Park, what would you think Catherine would think now? I love when they honor your history.
Yeah. And I've got two cute moments that is really cool, Candice. I like the fact that you had Nicholas and Abby and Chance all talking together, and they're literally 6 feet apart from each other, talking to each other. It was adorable. I love that. And then the other part that I've enjoyed is a cute moment is I love how they're focusing on the chemistry with Devon and Amanda are being so sweet to each other. It's I love it. I'm melting over that.
I think because again, and Josh, I already know we already talked about this, but I love the fact that we are now getting kind of not a setup, but kind of having a Devon and Amanda in each other's orbit, because I do feel as though that's going to jumpstart some things with Elena and Nate as well, and it carries over to Billy. At the same token that Billy and Victoria. Look, let me tell you about Victoria now. I give credit where credit is due. Have her be the dark child now. Victoria versus Adam come through, because it's about time that I need for them to stop making Victoria a victim all the time. I need for her to learn from her daddy, her mama, her brother, and all the stuff, like all the darkness that's in her heart, and unleash it against Adam. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying her talking to Billy and stuff like saying, whatnot. I'm enjoying, like right now, because it's just their first week, back and everything. Like, I want to see where this goes. They're setting everything up to, a really good umbrella storyline in the sense of, okay, you have, trouble within the Newman family, okay?
Right.
With it's Victoria and Adam. And this isn't like before. Oh, no. Adam has done something that Victor covered up for so many years. And I love the fact that, with Adam, we're going to get a Sharon, which, again, CDC guidelines, we kind of knew that was going to happen. So
did you think?
It's interesting. Oh. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm enjoying it. And today, I never. Okay, I don't know about you guys. When I saw Peter Bergman and Eric Braeden on screen today, I let out a it was a giggle, but it was like kind of a like, again, with these soaps, you look at Deidre, Drake, John Anderson, all these vets, and again with Young and Restless. We saw Peter Bergman when he first started, and we saw Eric, and, it's kind of like appreciation. And it's like, okay, the one thing that I truly miss is Jack versus Victor. Anytime I see those two in scenes, I'm like, amen, hallelujah, thank you. And
you know what, Candice, I love that Victor told, when Jack told Victor and he teases him, he goes, well, if Adam's such a problem and he's so toxic, just let him go. And I like how Victor told him, Jack, mind your own business. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's like it showed Victor's vulnerable side, and I loved it.
Well, that's the thing is that, but see, at the same time, the debate has always been Jack has been more of a father figure to Adam than Victor.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, when Jack said that, it's like, okay, Victor knows that if he does that, then Jack is going to make a move.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, Young and the Restless. I cannot wait to see what else happens. I can't wait to see what actually happens on all these shows because it feels different now. Even Dave, is a Salem.
The spotlight goes out to Mark Grossman. I've got to give him credit for this one. He's doing a great job playing the vulnerable, emotional character of Adam Newman right now, finding out the truth of what happened to him when he was a child. Congratulations on the writers on just going deep into this on Adam's storyline. Whether it's true or not, it's amazing the story direction it's going. And I love that it's involving everybody that's involved in Adam's life, even Nick Newman, who hates his brother. It's involving all the characters, so it's really good.
I need a flashback with Cynthia Coleman, who played Hope. I need to know if Hope knew about this. That's because this
do
is
you
one
think
of those
she did, Candice? Candice, do you think that she knew? Do you think she kept it a secret?
I'm going to see. This is where Young and the Restless. See, I wish Josh didn't do this because again, we all remember the Hope and Victor storyline.
Right.
So if you're going to go ahead and you're going to insert this big piece of information, it's not small, it's big. I need some flashbacks, and I need some corrections made. Like, okay, Hope and Victor did know about this. That's why she came to town, and she told Victor a secret. Or when they were on the farmhouse, like, Victor promised Hope that he would take the blame for it, He would not let his son, their child go to jail. Like, there needs to be a huge backstory on this because, again, like I said, the Hope and Victor storyline and Hope telling Victor about Adam and all that, that was a huge chunk of Young and the Restless history. If you're going to go ahead...
Okay, and Candice, don't forget that Hope also was very M.O. about how she was so protective of keeping Adam away from Victor because she didn't want him to live under Victor's world.
You need to play... That's why I said, we know that was a huge chunk of the story. That's what I'm saying. Young and the Restless, Josh has a difficult task of going ahead and rewrite and it's not like, okay, it's sort of like right now, Young and the Restless is pulled to General Hospital. In other words, you go ahead and you have this character, and now you're inserting past history that really doesn't fit anywhere because
we have to fit it.
Yeah, we have to fit it. Because how in the world is Peter older than Robin, and Anna was a virgin when she married Robert?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's sort of like if you're going to fit this into the character history, let's make sure it adds up. And that's what I'm saying. Young and the Restless has a difficult task because it can be done. It's just you got to, make sure it makes sense because, like I said, it could be, a moment where, flashback to Hope finding out and telling Victor, promise you won't say anything, da-da-da-da. Now, did this happen before that speech of Hope saying...
We don't have much time, guys. We got to say goodnight.
Okay, Candice and everybody, I've got something that's going to make Candice happy. Back to what you said about that you like Victoria being dark.
Greg Vaughn's here?
Okay,
what?
The rumor for your Young and the Restless is going to be that Victoria aligns herself with Jack Abbott and some other people, and she's going to go ahead and get where Adam Newman's secret is supposed to be exposed, but it's going to have a ripple effect all of Genoa City. It's going to be a ripple effect.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. But you guys make sure you tune in to Days, Bold, GH, and Young and the Restless weekdays on ABC, NBC, CBS. Follow us at Take Two Radio. We miss you, Pam. We miss you, Anthony. Everybody have a good night. Love you.
Night. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Aloha. Love, George.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit take2radio.com.